all so much, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to take some of our class. So this is from Seated Stretch and Strengthen, or as we lovingly call it, sometimes seated, mostly strengthen. So let's start with a warm-up. We're going to start with a warm-up by stepping back and together. Now, I don't know whether you can see my image in the mirrors as well, but I thought that this might be an opportunity to check out form if you can see it. Together, back, together. Also, just remember, at any point in time, you can pause the video and just keep going, and then you can start it up again in case I'm not giving you enough time. Ready? Back, together, back, together. One more set like this. Now, stepping side to side, step, together, and it's to the side, together. Out to the side, together, together. I hope that you're all staying healthy. And I hope that you're moving. Maybe going outside for walks, that would be good. Whatever it takes. And even though the Y is closed, I have seen people walking around the track and hope that you're one of them. Side, together. Nice and tall, ribs way up off of hips. 1,000 balloons at the top of the head, pulling nice and long. Side, together. Now we're going to go to the corners. Ready? So let's slow it down. Stepping up to the corner, center. Back to the corner and center. Remember, keeping our bodies straight ahead. Nice deep breathing. To the front and center. Back corner and center. To the corner and center. Up. And now to the other side. Up to the corner and center. Back and center. To the corner and center. Ribs way up off of hips. Nice deep breathing. Back to the corner and center. Up, center, to the back, center, and last time, center, back, and center. Stepping back. We're making sure that our knee is directly over the ankle in that front foot. The back heel is down and both feet are straight ahead, so there's no turnout. So if there was a turnout, that means your heel is pulling in toward the center line, but we want it to be right in the same trajectory as the front foot. If you want to make this tougher, you can reach back to have those fingertips reaching to the back heel. We're lifting up the back heel and lowering it down. Wobble, wobble, up, and lowering it down. Lifting it up, lowering it down, lifting it up. Shoulders are sliding down our back, lifting it up, and lowering it down, making sure ribs are pulling up off the hips up, and lowering it down. Placing hands on the back of the chair, we lengthen that front leg and bend at the hip. Again, long bodies, long back of the neck, and stepping together, and other leg to the back. So once again, we can have the hands on the back of the chair if you want. The knee is over the ankle in the front. That back foot is straight back, no turnout. And if you need more, we can reach back, those fingertips to the back heel. Lifting it up and lowering it down. It's up and lowering it down. It's up and lowering it down. It's up and lowering it down. And it's up and lowering it down. And it's up and lowering it down. Lifting it up and lowering it down. Lifting it up and lowering it down. Let's bring those feet together. We're going to bring that back leg again to the back. And once again, if you want, you can keep your hands on the chair in front of you, or you can have your arms to your side. We're going to lift it up and back. either with those hands on the front or by your sides. Nice and tall, we're lifting it up and back. Lifting up and back. And it's up and back. And it's up and back. Lifting it up and back. And it's up and back. Up and back. And it's up and back. Bring our feet together. And let's have them really together. So the legs are together, the feet are together, everything's together. 1,000 balloons at the top, back of the head, pulling along our shoulders, sliding down our backs. Oof. I don't know about you, but man, I'm feeling stiff. A week without seeing all of you, keeping me in shape. Here we go. We're pressing through the toes to lift up those heels and lowering it down. And lifting it up, pressing through the toes and down. Ribs way up off of hips and lowering it down. And lifting it up and lowering it down. Pressing through the floor and lowering it down. And pressing through the floor and lowering it down. And pressing through the floor. Really feel those toes spreading across the floor as you lift up. And it's up and down. Keeping those legs zipped together, we're going to pull that chair in to make sure that the hips don't move. We want to make sure that that tailbone stays weighted and heavy, keeping our lower back open, right, and in neutral. We're just going to bend one knee and lower it down. Alternating legs, lifting it up and lowering it down. Legs zip together, and it's up and lowering it down. Keeping that pelvis nice and heavy, and it's up. Try to keep it in neutral and down. It's natural for that pelvis to want to tilt back as you lift up that heel, but try to keep it in neutral, down. Lifting it up and lowering it down. Lifting it up, squeeze, squeeze, lowering it down, and lifting it up and lowering it down. Staying in this position, shifting weight, bringing one foot to the back. Once again, ribs way up off of hips, keeping it long and tall, shoulders melting down the back, 1,000 blues at the top of the head. We reach it up and down, reaching that toe back and down. Once again, I don't know if you can see it in the mirror, but I'm hoping that gives you a little better idea of the form. And down, up and down, lifting it up and down, and it's up all the way down. Shifting weight to the other side. Here we go. Long and tall, it's up and down, lifting it up and down. Straight up, those hips are staying straight ahead, the rest of the body is still. And it's up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down. We're now going to turn out. First position, right, in ballet terms, making sure that our heels are outside of our feet and our toes and heels are rooted down, the outside of the feet. If you feel your ankles pulling inward and your feet and ankles rolling inward, you want to really root it down, and you might find that you have to pull those toes in a little bit more, right? I'd rather have your toes just barely apart and have the outside of the feet rooted down rather than have them wide apart and not be rotated in the hip socket, but rotated in the knee or the ankle. Not a good plan. Here we go. So again, rooting down, weighting the tailbone down as always, shoulders melting down, lengthening up the back of the neck, and pressing through the floor to lift those heels up and down. Pressing through the floor and lowering it down. Pressing through the floor, lowering it down. Pressing through the floor, and 4 more times like this. And it's up, and lowering it down. Pressing it up, and lowering it down. Pressing it up, and lowering it down. Pressing it up, and squeeze those thighs together. Every time we come down, we want to squeeze those legs together. We're shifting weight. We're bringing one leg to the back, keeping hips straight ahead. So bringing that one leg to the back in a turned out position. And we're lifting it up and down. And it's up and down, lifting it up. I keep thinking about all the people I see in the class normally, and up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down. Shifting weight, really lifting long and tall, other leg to the back, shoulders down, lifting it up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down, lifting it up and down, and it's up and down, lifting it up and down, and it's up and down. Now we're going to step back in a turned out position and bend at the hip. Nice deep stretch, pulling the tailbone away, pulling the head in the opposite direction. Long belly, long back. Let's lift up that belly, dropping head and tailbone, and lengthening it out. Now we're going to step back in. We're going to remove that turnout. Now the feet are right underneath the hips, right? Again, we're going to do heel raises. Here we go, up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down. Probably a little bit easier than when you had your legs together, but maybe a little bit harder than when we were in turned out position, maybe, depending on who you are, and down, and it's up, hold it, and down. Right, now we're going to step back again, this time with those feet straight ahead, bending at the hip, lengthening out that body, feeling a rope pulling your tailbone away, feeling ribs pulling away from hips, head pulling in front of you, and lifting that belly up, softening those knees just a little bit, dropping head and tailbone, and lengthening back out. Bring it on up. So, from this position, we're going to do a wider turned out position, right? In this position, once again, heel raises up and down. And again, we're making sure those outside of the feet are rooted down. And when we lower, we really try to almost imagine we're pulling the legs together. Up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down, and it's up and down. We're going to bend those knees, keeping this nice and tall, so it doesn't matter. Once again, range of motion does not matter. It's what you can do. It's never what you can't do. And we're going to press through those heels as we lift up, then drop it down again. Pressing through the heels as we lift up and down again. One more time up. We're going to take a wider stance, however wide you can go. We're going to bend those knees, and we're going to shift over to one side and down. And it's over and center. And it's over and center. And it's over. The other great thing about these videos is you can always fast forward if we're doing a move that really does not work for your body. And it's up and center and out and center. Pressing through the floor to bring ours up. So that's it for the behind the chair warm-up. I'm going to stop the video and we'll do the next segment.